Okay. The, scenes don't really have in-game titles like they do in Platinum Stars as far as I'm aware, but it was an element of Platinum Stars that I liked, so I just kind of made up titles for them. Hope you don't mind.
I mind.
I'm sorry.
Pleased to meet you. My name is Kisaragi Chihaya, currently 16 years of age. I have dedicated my life to improving my skills as a vocalist, and for that reason I joined 765 Production. My ultimate goal is to be recognized as one of the foremost singers in the industry, and to that end I am willing to persevere against any hardship and overcome every obstacle. Perhaps that came across as overly headstrong. I don't really have a great deal of experience performing for recordings such as this. I'm fearful of the possibility that working with me might prove unduly difficult, but I do hope I can count on your strict guidance, producer.
Remember, those are all videos that Gatori had the girls record to introduce themselves to their prospective new producer.
Yes.
Since we have no sound, this means I finally get to do some voice acting, though. Very interesting. So you choose Kisaragi Chihaya-kun. I suspected as much, but this confirms your keen eye for talent. What do you mean by that? Well, speaking personally, I have never encountered any other girl her age, who can match both her raw talent for singing and the consistent, tireless effort she puts into her work. She's a prodigy by any conceivable measure. Although, there may be times when she can prove somewhat difficult to work with. She's likely to be out at the Riverbank right now. Why not introduce yourself and see what happens? Yes, sir. Okay, this is it, right? I'm still curious what an idol would be doing here of all places. Guess I'm about to find out. Who is singing that? That is a loud voice. I can hear it echoing from the other bank. Oh, there, it's her. I guess she's doing some kind of vocal exercise, which means she's probably the girl I'm looking for. Excuse me! Run, 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 run. Hey you! Excuse me! Can I please have a minute? Damn, I am out of shape. Holy hell, my ears! Does she always practice this loudly? Excuse me, miss.
I'm sorry, but you're not talking to me, are you?
Yes, I am. Are you by any chance Kisaragi Chihaya-san?
Yes, and, you are?
Oh, she seems awfully wary of me. Oops. I should think carefully about how to answer her. I'm sorry, let me properly introduce myself. Here, my business card.
That's a 765 producer card.
A 765 what card?
What did I just say? Okay! Wake up, Kage! It's voice acting time. That's a 765 production card. A producer? Wait, you don't mean as in my producer?
Sure do. The President has officially assigned me to take charge of your management starting today.
I see. In that case, my behavior was quite disrespectful. But you simply brushed it off and presented your business card right away. I'm impressed. You're correct. I am Kisaragi Chihaya. A pleasure to meet you. I'm looking forward to learning a great deal from you.
Alright, looks like I handled that well enough to clear the air. But this girl, not only is she all business, she seems very well-mannered, too. I look forward to working with you, too. And I anticipate there will be plenty of work for us to do in the weeks to come, so I hope we get along well with each other.
No, I don't see any particular need for that.
What? Well, that was a pretty unsociable thing to say all of a sudden. What makes you see it that way?
I'll grant that you and I are co-workers, and as such, it's inevitable that we share a vested interest in ensuring the smooth execution and success of our joint operations. Beyond that, however, we neither have nor need any... Oh, I read that wrong. Beyond that, however, we neither have nor need any further common ground, correct? I believe that defining the extent of our relationship thusly will help us remain focused on our respective tasks.
Sorry for just give a second for this train to go by.
Train.
Anyway, the direction for that line went, or the intonation went, I believe that defining the extent of our relationship thusly.
Oh, okay. No
emphasis on that.
I'll do that line again after the train is gone.
Right, but as long as it's passing, I just wanted to point out, this is super easy to miss, but a point is being made early on about how abnormally loud her practicing is.
I'm right in front of the mic. I don't want to be too loud or I'll blow it out.
I know. I'm just pointing that out because considering what happens later, you know.
Yeah, which is actually kind of funny because she's like me in that she naturally projects. Like, she does not need a microphone. It's one of the reasons I like Chihaya so much.
There's also another reason for it, but I didn't pick up on it the first time around, and I'm the one who decided to write this thing. It's just...
Is the train gone?
Almost.
Okay.
It's amazing what...
Go ahead.
It's amazing what years of experience, or what difference years of experience makes. Alright, now it should be gone.
Beyond that, however, we neither have nor need any further common ground, correct? I believe that defining the extent of our relationship thusly will help us remain focused on our respective tasks.
Well, on the flip side, though, I'm not sure such a divisive working relationship would be entirely healthy in the long run, Kisaragi-san.
Excuse me, but I prefer it when people just call me Chihaya. Please don't feel like you need to address me with any awkward delicacy. Besides, I really don't like being called by my surname.
If you insist, then I'll go you...
I'll go you ahead.
If you insist, then I'll go ahead and call you that, Chihaya. But anyway, back to our previous discussion. Sorry, but I think... you misunderstood me. Getting along doesn't necessarily mean the same thing as getting together, you know?
Even still, is it wrong to be concerned about personal feelings or excessive intimacy interfering with our work ethic?
I don't think interference is what it amounts to, frankly. Maintaining friendly relationships with your peers can also help motivate you to stay on task for their sake, even on a day when you're not quite feeling up to it for yourself. Also, just putting it out there, but choosing to interact with someone strictly as a function of whether or not it's your job at the moment isn't the most considerate way to relate to another human being in the first place, let alone a coworker. But even setting all that aside, there's still the issue that it wouldn't be particularly helpful to me. My job is to bring out the best in you, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to get to know you better to do it. Try saying that mouthful within the time limit.
I see. Well, at the very least, I can say with certainty that I have no intention of preventing you from doing your job, producer. Very well then. I will consider that to be my first lesson from you. and I will make my best effort to get along well with you.
Well, like I said, there's little doubt we'll be having to do a lot of work together anyway, however we go about it. We should head back to the office for now, though.
Actually, would you mind waiting for me just a little longer? I hadn't finished my vocal exercises.
Oh, you mean that la 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 thing you were doing earlier, huh? You know, at a glance, you really do seem more like a professional singer than an idol.
That should come as no surprise. My dream is to be recognized the world over as an accomplished vocalist. And I will spare absolutely no effort to that end. It doesn't matter how harsh a regimen you have in store for me, I will gladly follow it.
Wow. You don't think you're going just a little bit overboard? Just a little bit overboard there?
You have to understand, singing is quite literally everything to me. This has been my lifelong dream, and I want you to know I am dead serious about fulfilling it.
I understand, Chihaya. In that case, I'll be expecting great things from you.
You won't be disappointed.
So this is my new idol, Kisaragi Chihaya. Maybe she has a peculiar way of thinking about some things, but just as the president said, I can feel talent and tenacity in equal measure pulsing within her. Don't you worry, we will make you a top-class idol. Question is, how willing will she be to work with me when it comes to jobs that don't directly involve singing? Well, for now I think I can afford to worry more about that later. Let's just focus on scheduling our first day's activities when we get back. We're back, and with that, we've completed everything on our first day's schedule.
Pleasure working with you today, producer.
You too, Chihaya. Very good work today. What's your impression?
Beneficial, in many ways which were previously unknown to me. It's been such a long time since I last worked so closely together with anyone. I think I'm beginning to see the appeal of it, which I had failed to grasp all this time, of which I had been choosing to ignore, perhaps.
I see. Well, I'm happy to hear that just one day was such an enriching experience for you.
It was. I also feel like I'm beginning to see how much more I could be doing in pursuit of my dreams.
Your dream, huh? Yeah, I remember you sharing it with me back when we met on the Riverbank. You want to become an accomplished, world-famous singer.
Correct. But just so you're aware, that doesn't mean I'm averse to doing other types of idol work in addition. If it turns out that becoming a top idol and achieving my own dream are not mutually exclusive goals, then I intend to take full advantage of any overlap.
I understand, Chihaya. But there's just one thing that I want to make sure you understand.
And what would that be?
From now on, it's not just your dream anymore. It's our dream. If there's one thing I don't want you to ever forget, it's that.
Our dream? You would take on my hopes and dreams as yours, producer?
Yes! You've inspired me, Chihaya. From now on, my dream will be to show you the peak of the mountain you've always wanted to see. So I hope you'll be ready for me to do everything in my power to support you. There's no doubt in my mind. Even the things you couldn't work out on your own before will be no problem for the two of us put together.
You make it sound so simple. Do you really expect it to be a matter of course?
What? I mean, I don't expect it to be effortless, of course, but in my experience, the whole doesn't always have to be the mere sum of its parts, Chihaya. I was kinda hoping you'd join in on my little moment there.
Yes, well, I don't know if I can wholly agree with your optimism, but it is abundantly clear that you intend to take our partnership seriously. Very well, I'll trust you.
As long as you understand. Just one thing, though. It's good that you're so serious about your work, but I do want you to be able to enjoy what you're doing, too. I mean, singing is your passion, right? Think you could maybe loosen up and try to have a little more fun with our work together? Well, just try to keep that in the back of your mind for me as we go along. I look forward to working with you a whole lot more from now on, Chihaya.
Thank you for being so supportive of my dream, producer. Likewise, I look forward to being able to fulfill it together with you as well.
Good. Now, why don't we... Good. Now, why don't you head home and get some rest for the day?
I will. See you again next week. Oh, hey, I spotted Itsuko.
Skip that. Whoops. Skip ahead to week 18. I feel just about ready to drop dead. So much work to do week after week, and it's not about to stop next week. I think I need to go out for a walk. Maybe stop somewhere on the way home. That might be good for a change of pace. This is really refreshing. The night air feels so nice and cool. Is this what people mean when they talk about soaking up negative ions, or... Russell. That's weird. Is there something or someone inside the bushes? I thought I saw black and gray stripes. It couldn't be. Chihaya? Chihaya, is that you? What on earth are you doing in there? Oh my god, it was just a black and gray striped cat. What was I thinking? There's no way Chihaya would be crawling around in the bushes. Yep, I'm getting tired, alright.
So it really was you, producer. I thought I heard you calling out my name over here just now. I was wondering.
Oh! Wow, so you were there, Chihaya. You were just outside the bushes, of course.
The bushes? Yes. What about them?
No, nothing. Just talking to myself. What are you doing out here so late anyway?
I just needed to go out and cool my head for a while.
What happened? Is there something bothering you? Oh, I guess it's a personal matter? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry. We don't have to talk about it if you don't.
No, it's not quite. Well, I mean, given the choice between personal and work, I don't think this issue can be classified as the former.
What? Well, if it's a work-related issue, then please, I hope you will tell me. Chihaya, please, I need you to talk to me. I know I'm not the most reliable guy in the world, but I'm the only producer we've got, so you're kind of stuck with me for the time being.
No, please don't think that I consider you unreliable in the slightest, producer. Absolutely not. I mean, I'll confess to being of a mind that you're somewhat unusual, but that's all. You've given me no reason to doubt you for it.
I see. Somewhat unusual. It's kind of a dodgy evaluation to receive, but I don't really mind. Whatever gets the job done. But anyway, if you say you can trust me, then I really need you to, okay? Will you please tell me what's been giving you trouble at work?
I don't think something's giving me trouble is quite the term for it. If anything, it's just that I'm feeling insecure about myself. After all, you've shown me such faith in me, entrusting me with the tremendous responsibility of leading our unit, and like me. Sorry, never mind, it's nothing.
Chihaya? Of what like you?
I said, you don't have to pay any mind, really. It's just something I have to...
Alright, if it really is something you just can't bring yourself to say, then do you mind if I start by calling it like I see it?
You mean you've already figured it out, producer?
Well, maybe not with any certainty, but just looking at the way you're behaving now, I think I can hazard a guess as to what you're feeling insecure about. Your voice isn't quite in perfect shape, is it?
How did you... Then again, recently it seems as if every last wall I put up is like the last to you, producer. The The truth is, vocalizing has occasionally become difficult for me as of late. I had thought I might be coming down with a slight cold. But, I mean, my physical health has always been particularly resilient, so I saw no reason to believe that my voice wouldn't simply return to full strength soon enough. However, it's gotten to the point where today, the instant I would relax my guard even the slightest bit, I'd start struggling to sustain the higher notes. And that has been troubling.
The red lines are because I'm screen sharing with Kage. So that's what I heard. If it really was that serious, Chihaya, then why did you keep it to yourself all this time?
Because I know how prudent you tend to be about these things, producer. But I didn't think a sick day would be necessary, and most of all, I didn't want to miss any important work or lessons, so...
I see. Well, that does sound just like you, but... I need to tell you what I think about that, Chihaya. In my mind, that's just about the worst thing you could have done. For a number of reasons.
The worst thing? But...
Not only did you know something was wrong and not tell me about it, you kept overexerting yourself too. What would happen then? Your condition would just get even worse before it had a chance to get better. And by the time you had no choice but to rest, recovery would take that much longer. It's really the worst possible thing you could have done to yourself.
I apologize. Clearly I wasn't thinking my course of action all the way through. I'm sorry, so sorry, producer. Truly.
I'm sorry too, Chihaya. It's not just you. I'm the one who pushed you into doing that to yourself. That's the worst thing I could have done as your producer.
Please stop that! I'm the only one who was in the wrong here. There's no reason for you to think you're at fault.
But I am. If you truly believed you were doing the right thing, but turned out not to be, that could only be because of a lack of proper guidance from me. No mistake can be laid squarely at your feet when the one responsible for furnishing you with the knowledge to avoid those mistakes in the first place failed to do so.
I can't accept that. Going by that line of reasoning, you're saying that any errors in judgment that I commit, no matter what or why, it's like you're saying that you have to be held particularly accountable for them as well, producer.
Partially accountable.
Whoops, I read that wrong. It's like you're saying that you have to be held It's like you're saying that you have to be held partially accountable for them as well, producer.
That is what I'm saying, Chihaya. We swim together, we sink together. As your producer, that's the responsibility I've taken upon myself.
Sink or swim together?
Yes. And tonight, we found out we've both committed some of the worst possible mistakes we could make. So I think we both need to take a good long look at ourselves and reassess how we're going to go about a few things. Do you agree?
Producer, you're not angry with me, are you?
You're important to me, Chihaya. So yes, of course I'm mad. Starting now. I'm really not happy with what you did at all. Do you have any idea how much you worried me? I don't want you to do anything like this ever again! Now, your turn, Chihaya. I'd like you to tell me this. I've thought about what you said, producer, and from now on, instead of keeping secrets, I promise to come talk to you about these things. Okay?
Producer. Yes, understood. I've thought about what you said, producer, and from now on, instead of keeping secrets, I promise to come talk to you about everything.
Hey now, is that true, Chihaya? Do you really promise to speak with me up front about everything from now on?
I'm serious. Please don't make fun of me. You're the one who made me say it, but if you're not even going to believe me...
I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. It just made me so happy when you said it to the letter for me like that. I couldn't help but want to poke at you a little. Of course I believe you. And I want you to know you can always come to me about anything, okay? I'll always hear you out, no matter how difficult of a conversation it might be to have.
Yes, I know. You made me realize how utterly foolish I've been. If I were ever to seriously injure my throat, I'd lose just about everything that matters to me. I think perhaps I may have been in too much of a rush to improve, ever since we failed to measure up to Vitsuko and Ryugu Komachi.
I understand how you feel, Chihaya, believe me, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's not anything we can rush. Don't you worry. All three of you are steadily making wonderful progress. I can guarantee that.
Thank you, producer. I'll be sure to get lots of rest over the remainder of the week. Hopefully by next week I'll have returned to
Well, you don't sound so good right now, that's for sure. You were right, by the way. I do tend to be prudent about these things, so just to make sure you don't strain yourself, I'm going to take you back to your house tonight.
No, I couldn't allow myself to take advantage of you so...
This is not the time to be so Japanese, Chihaya. You want to get better next week or not? If you... if...
I'm sorry.
That's the other thing about gaining more experience doing these things, is your writing picks up all these little idiosyncrasies. This is not the time to be so Japanese, Chihaya. You want to get better next week or not? If you have thought about what I said, then no more trying to tough it out on your own. Alright?
My apologies. Then, yes, please. I would greatly appreciate it.
I'd be happy to. There, you see? You can tell me what you're really thinking.
So it would seem.
And so she directed me back to the apartment complex where she lived by herself, and I dropped her off at the front entrance. Fortunately, her voice did end up making a full recovery within the week. I guess her schedule won't have to be affected for now. But despite our heart-to-heart talk, I know Chihaya, and I know she's passionate about her work more than anything. I need to do a better job of paying attention to her from now on, so that she doesn't overdo it like this again.
Her water may be empty. I'll take care of it once we're done here. We've only got like one more scene. Boy, looks like you guys got a pretty good... Boy, looks like you guys got us pretty good today. Good job, producer.
That says GG.
It doesn't sound like a Yitsuko to me, though.
It's a gaming term that, you know, when we were talking about before, how she has to spend so much time with the twins. That's why I originally came up with it.
Oh, boy. Looks like you guys got us pretty good today. GG, producer.
Well, I can see you ladies haven't been slacking off either. We may have just barely managed to win today, but...
Of course I wouldn't want you to expect you... God damn it.
I'm sorry, I'm a weird writer, aren't I?
No, you're fine. I just can't read, and somebody needs to shut up. Of course I wouldn't want you to expect you've seen The Last of Us either. Not when it's only just begun to get real between us. Agreed, Raditsuko. I believe much still remains for the both of our units to learn from one another. You know it. But I gotta tell you, Chihaya, I'm honestly having a little trouble believing how far you've managed to carry your unit as its leader in such a short time. I mean, if it was gonna turn out like this, maybe we should have recruited... Nah, forget it. I've never had any confidence that I'd know how to make the most of someone with your extreme talents as a multiple idol unit. Ritsuko. But then, of course, Mr. Producer over here has the nerve to just come along and make it look so darned easy. You really tick me off sometimes, you know that?
Yeah. Hey! I've had to put all kinds of hard work into it, too. Sorry if I make it look effortless, but this has hardly been the easiest job in the world for me, either.
Excuse me? Might you be insinuating that you find my talents extraordinarily difficult to make use of, producer?
What? No! That's not what I... come on. Why'd you have to twist it... Why'd you have to twist it into that?
Alright, enough with the lover's quarrel, you two. Work it out on your own time. Yeah, what are you calling a lover's quarrel? Please, Nitsuko? He and I aren't in that kind of... she suspiciously trails off. We're not... it doesn't matter. Suffice to say, you are mistaken. Very mistaken. Oh, really? Well, it doesn't really matter to me one way or the other. You know, just for future reference.
Holy crap, Nitsuko. You could teach me a thing or two. How the hell do I get that reaction out of Chihaya?
But as fun as this is, there was actually something else I wanted to talk about. A bit of a proposition to make as far as our units learning from each other is concerned.
Sam? Okay, this is not going to work while she's doing this.
I think she needs more.
I will take care of it in a minute. What do you think about having Ryugu Komachi's members participate in one of your lives as guests sometime? You would allow Minase-san and the others to perform with us? Minase-san. Of course! I think that could help teach those girls quite a bit. Not only via your own outstanding talents, Chihaya, but also the unity between the three of you.
Are you serious? We'd welcome them with open arms! That'd make for the best live ever with both our units combined!
Yes, I think so too. And I can hardly conceive of a better opportunity for all of us to learn from each other's strong points. Then it's settled. From now on, your fellow 765 unit Ryugu Komachi will be happy to join your party. Go team! Oh, hey! He's here! He's here! Can we have him do it?
Okay.
Be Toma! Be an asshole!
But lines.
They're right there.
Oh, question marks.
Yep.
Go team, huh? You know, there are insane asylums available if you're looking for an appropriate place to spout that nonsense.
Excuse me, Romeo of the Year. I hope you're not expecting to just walk away after being rude as hell to our faces like that.
Hey, wait. Isn't he that guy from the TV station lobby that one time?
The hell? My name's not Romeo. It's... well, nothing you need to know. I'm just a passerby who happened to get a good chuckle out of your endearing naivety.
Who are you calling naive now? I'm not... What? Let me try that line again. Who are you calling naive now? I'm dying to know what you heard to give I'm dying to know what you heard to give you that idea.
Yeah, what was it? Something about working together with your fellow unit at some agency? Pure distilled naivety. There's just no other way to describe it. But hey, nobody's born knowing everything. So I guess I'll teach you. The idol business functions on a simple process of elimination. At the end of the day, the only ones who come out ahead are those who have demonstrated that their own abilities are more polished than someone else's, one by one. What does that make your proposal to get ahead by working together? What does that make teamwork in general? Preposterous. Where do you think you even are? If you all want to play make-believe with each other, then get the fuck out of my industry.
WTF! You think you have any right to give us that crap after you're the one who dropped in on our conversation uninvited? Someone's got a problem here, and it's not... You may have a point.
Chihaya! No, I'll wait.
What? Hey, Chihaya, did you just say that for real? I know what I said.
No, she said it for fake.
Kagami! I know what I said. He has a point. I too am aware of the necessity of cultivating sufficient strength to stand on one's own if need be. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but yes, it's important. But at the same time, it's hardly the full extent of our potential as human beings. Clearly, this person simply has yet to learn that for himself, yes? I can relate.
What the hell, girl? Don't you dare try to patronize me.
Ugh, hey, Wonder Boy, I've had just about enough of that mouth of yours. Nobody likes creeps who go around picking fights with girls, you know.
Damn imbecile. Let's get one thing straight here. I'm not trying to pick a fight with anyone. There's nothing to be gained from getting you lot to back off. Waste of time. So I happen to have a sharp tongue. So I happen to have a sharp tongue. That's just the way I am. Deal with it. So sorry if I hurt your feelings, but I haven't said anything but the plain and simple truth.
Listen, you. I don't really care either way, but you clearly feel justified in trying to tell us how to do our jobs. I gather that you're in the business, but just who the hell are you?
Who knows? There's no point in telling you that now. You'll find out for yourself soon enough, whether you like it or not.
And what could you possibly mean by that?
I meant exactly what I said. See ya.
God damn it! What is wrong with young men these days? I swear, first chance I get, I'm gonna look up his agency and give him all a piece of my mind.
He didn't look that much younger than you, Ritsuko. But there's definitely not much that can be said for his upbringing, huh?
As long as he doesn't start picking girls.
Sorry about that, Chihaya. You alright?
Yes, I'm fine. His lack of manners didn't particularly bother me. Although, yes, for whatever reason, he's gone out of his way to specifically mark us as his enemies. And that's going to be a problem. There's something intimidating about him, and it's not just his attitude. He talks like a big shot and seems convinced he has the talent to back it up. I don't know who he is, but he's definitely far from ordinary. Well, we're not going to accomplish anything by worrying about it, so let's just start heading back. I'm sure the others must be waiting for us. Over to week 21, and the girls have just beaten Ryugu Komachi for the first time. Sam, really? Stop.
I know I was telling the girls there's no time to celebrate just yet, but I forgot. Tomorrow is our first day off in a while. Maybe I'll get to take it easy for just one... Oh, well, what do you know? It's Chihaya calling. I wonder if she forgot something she had wanted to talk to me about, or... Beep. Hello?
That's not me.
Hello, are you Hana?
No?
Hello, this is Hana. Is that you, Chihaya?
Hello, producer. I realize we have the day off tomorrow, but I was wondering if you wouldn't mind having a meeting with just the two of us so we can discuss our plan of action going forward?
Sure. There was some extra work I was planning on doing tomorrow anyway.
Is that so? We can always count on you, can't we, producer? Even after such a momentous victory, you're not one to ever allow yourself to grow negligent.
Well, hey, you ask for strict guidance, you get it.
You write negligent?
What?
Look at the script. You wrote negligent instead of negligent.
God damn it. I'm sorry. You knew what I wanted to say.
I know. I have to call you out on your typo. We do it when we play these games. I have to do it when you do it yourself.
Yes, yes.
I love you.
I love you too. That's why real video game publishers have editing and QA departments. Well, hey, you ask for strict guidance, you get it. I'll See you tomorrow at the office, then. Click. Oh boy. Someone call the conscience paramedics. The next day. So I end up having to work on our day off. But hey, I've already pledged to give everything I have for the girls' sakes. If I'm not willing to do at least this much... Chihaya again? What's she calling about now? Blip! Hello, Chihaya? It's still a little early. You're not at the office already, are you?
My apologies, producer. I actually still have yet to leave that house.
You sound awful, Chihaya. Are you alright? What on earth happened to you?
Merely caught a bit of a cold, I believe. But that being the case, about our meeting today, I'm terribly sorry. I think I'll be a little...
Shh, please, don't strain your voice. It's alright. I think I know what you want to say. Don't worry about our meeting today. We'll just... postpone it. I'll see you in half an hour, okay?
Yes, understood. Then maybe a little late, but I'll do my best to get there within a half a...
Whoa, calm down there. Sorry, I should have said this first. You don't have to come to the office. But we do need to have a meeting today, and it'll be at your place. Might take a little more than half an hour, but just sit tight until I get there, alright?
Isn't that... You mean you're just going to come... I couldn't ask you to go so far.
Chihaya, please, you're in no condition to argue. I'll see you in 30 minutes. Click. Are you okay?
Me?
You are too good at that. You can barely tell there's anything different about Asami Imai's acting when she does it.
It's just me doing like half of Vivi's voice. Some of the coughing was real though.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, it's because I'm on the tail end of getting over that cold. So like the coughing is just inducing more coughing.
Well, be more careful because her symptoms have started to subside by the time he gets there.
Okay.
Just hang in there, Chihaya. I'll be there as soon as I can. Made it. Well then. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. Chihaya? Chihaya, it's me! Are you alright?
Producer, you really can't... I mean, must you always be so insistent?
Come on. How could you expect your own producer not to come check up on you when you're feeling sick?
But I wouldn't want you to catch anything from me.
Oh, there's an idea. Maybe if I caught it, it would transfer from you to me, and you'd be all better. I say we try it.
Please quit joking around. You know it doesn't work that way.
Hey, give me some credit. I was only half joking. I mean, I'm dead serious when I say that if it meant my precious beyond precious top idol Chihaya had to risk damage to her voice otherwise, then even taking your illness upon myself instead would be infinitely preferable.
Please, you're exaggerating, producer. Besides, my symptoms have already settled down a great deal since I called you.
What was that you said about me? I never allow myself to grow negligent? Or negligent, as the case may be? Well, I won't let you either. You're already presenting a cough. How's your temperature?
Most likely, not more than a slight fever, I'd say.
What do you mean, most likely? You haven't actually checked yet, Chihaya?
I did try, but my thermometer didn't appear to be working very well. I fear it may be broken.
Oh. Is that right? I'm sorry. Well, we really need to check, so I think we'll have to do it this way. Better do it with just my hand. Would you come over here for a second, please, Chihaya? I'll be able to feel your temperature if I touch my hand to your forehead.
Alright. Then, please go ahead.
Let me see. Well, you definitely have a fever. Must be over 38 degrees at the least, don't you think?
Maybe. Who knows? I don't care. Your hand is so cool, producer. It feels nice. If I may, please let me have just a few more
Poor Chihaya, she's dripping with sweat. But even through that, I can feel her warmth, and her pulse beating directly against my hand, still so full of life. I've never felt anything like this before. Okay. I think I'd feel better if we take you to a hospital to have a doctor look at you, Chihaya.
Yes, I agree. In that case, there is a certain hospital that I've always gone to since I was little. If we could go there.
Oh, so like your family doctor is there? We'll take you there then. It'll be a load off both our minds. But now that that's settled, you should try to eat something before we head out. I'm guessing you haven't eaten anything yet today?
No, I haven't. But I don't think I have anything here that would be ready to eat right away either.
I saw you had some rice out on my way in. That'll be fine. I can just make you some rice porridge. Is that okay?
You would be willing to prepare it for me, producer? Not that I wouldn't appreciate that, but, will you be alright?
Clearly she doubts me. I'll have you know I'm actually pretty handy in the kitchen.
Producer, you truly fancy yourself that much of a cook? Forgive me for saying so, but of all the impressions you've left with me, I can't say that was one of them.
I don't know if you realize, Chihaya, that in this day and age, there's no reason to think your classic handyman can't easily find his way around a kitchen, too. I mean, you can just set your rice cooker to porridge and bam, a tasty meal at the touch of a button.
That clearly speaks more to the prowess of the rice cooker itself, producer. I'm afraid you forfeit your handiness to an appliance. That sounds like something I would say.
Ouch. Thought I could get you to play along. Oh, well, leave it to Chihaya to lay on the chill even with a fever. But that's okay. We win as long as you get your tasty meal, no matter who or what is responsible for it.
Very well. Perhaps I missed the part where we had anything to win or lose.
Just let your producer produce you some porridge.
I'm sorry, I still
Just let your producer produce you some porridge. I'll be in the kitchen for a bit. You should lie down before you start feeling worse again.
I'm fine. Having to listen to you talk leaves me no room to remember I even have a cold.
Really now? Well, I'm glad I can help take it off your mind. They say health starts in the mind, right? Maybe a distraction is just what you needed.
Perhaps.
You know, I can't help but notice you haven't put up any decorations in your room or anything. You don't mind keeping it so plain?
I suppose not. I mean, I do have everything I need here at least, so perhaps I never paid it any mind.
Yeah, just about the only things I've seen here are necessities. Oh, but there is that stuffed bear in the corner. He's cute.
That's my little brother's.
Aw, really? I didn't know you had a little brother, Chihaya. What happened? Why'd she get all quiet?
Yes. I had a little brother. He passed away in an accident 9 years ago. He was the kindest boy you'd ever meet. He would always be so delighted to listen to my terrible singing, with a huge smile on his face. I
don't know what to say, Chihaya. I should never have brought it up. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, producer. Please don't feel bad about it. It's been 9 years. I've long since come to terms with the matter for myself. The only thing is, there are others who were never able to come to terms with it and allowed it to continue to weigh them down even after all this time.
You mean your family?
My parents. They failed to overcome the pain of his death. It opened a rift between them and festered for the longest time until they finally divorced. I don't blame them, though. I believe they made the correct decision. They were both at their limit and truly felt they could no longer continue fighting a losing uphill battle. Besides, I made my own decision as well, to start living on my own, leaving all that tragedy behind in the past, so that I can focus on forging a new future for myself.
Chihaya.
My apologies. It appears as though I've darkened the mood considerably. I'm sure you didn't come all this way out here so you could listen to this.
Don't say that, Chihaya. I can't tell you how much it means to me that you would trust me with such a grave personal matter. Thank you.
It's a relief to hear you put it that way, producer. Because the truth is, I've actually been wanting to speak to you about this for quite some time now. I mean, I'm not supposed to keep these secrets from you anymore, yes? Otherwise, you'll scold me again.
You're not talking about our promise, are you? Come on. Of course I meant work-related secrets. Ding. That'd be the sound of our favorite handyman, the rice cooker, announcing his success. Have some porridge, Chihaya, then we'll get you to the hospital.
Very well. Oh, you should have some too, don't you think? I'll set out the rice bowls.
Chihaya, you equals sick. Be a good girl and wait here. I'll get everything ready for us.
Understood. Then, I'll leave it to you.
Chihaya, what?
You equals...
Chihaya ended up eating 2 whole bowls of that porridge. She seemed surprised something I made could be so edible. And then, I guess thanks to having a good family doctor that's known her for so long, she made a full recovery in a few days. But still, Chihaya's family. I don't care who I am, that's not a subject I had any right to trespass upon. But since she was willing to tell me, it's just one more reason for me to look after her. From whatever distance I can for now. Being able to understand her world, close that gap, and support her. Standing face to face on an emotional level. Guess I've still got a long ways to go yet. I hope that day will come. Week 40. Just after getting the nomination and being reminded, oh yeah, we're going to Hollywood. Hollywood, huh? What a time for this to come up. I have no idea how I'm gonna break this news to the girls. Chihaya? Hey, I thought you'd have gone home already. What are you...
No, please don't.
What? Chihaya? What did I do? Why would you yell at me to stay away all of a sudden? And I couldn't even get a word in before she ran away from me. Did I do something to upset her, or... Wait! She said, please don't. Does that mean... She didn't overhear our conversation about me going to Hollywood just now, did she? Damn it doesn't matter, I just need to hurry up and follow her. Chihaya, what's wrong? Hey! Chihaya, wait! Please, listen to me! I'm begging you! Finally, you stopped running. Since when could you run like that? I guess that's the physical fitness of an idol for you. I ran for all I was worth, but never had a prayer of catching up to you. You gave me quite the workout. Think I know who to call if I ever need a personal trainer. So, anyway... Would you look at me, please, Chihaya? Chihaya, please, what is it? Anything you want to say to me, you know I'll listen. Alright, come on, speak up. You're starting to get me a little worried. Oh no, Chihaya, don't tell me! Did you lose your voice? But how? You seemed fine just a moment ago when you... What happened all of a sudden? Never mind, I guess that's not important now. Doctor, we need to get you to see a doctor. What, Chihaya? What are you trying to tell me? That way? What's over that way? Or is there something specific you... Hold on. Are you saying we should go to your family doctor's hospital? The same place I took you when you were sick? Got it. I'll call up a taxi right now. Just hang in there. So I took Chihaya to get examined. It's been half an hour already. What could be taking so long? And what on earth could have happened to her body to make her suddenly lose her voice like that?
Excuse me, are you out there? Chihaya-kun's producer, sir? You may come in now.
Okay. I'm coming in. Door.
Producer.
Chihaya! You spoke! Are you alright?
Yes, my deepest apologies, producer. I've been a terrible, inexcusable inconvenience upon you tonight.
Don't say that, Chihaya. I would never even think that. I'm just so glad you got your voice back.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Gen's trying to pay me. And I have to go into my email and stuff. Well, let's take a break after the scene and I'll take care of it.
Okay.
What line are we on?
Still, I'm truly very sorry.
Still, I'm truly very sorry, producer.
Don't worry about it. So, what happened? Did you find out what caused you to lose your voice all of a sudden?
That's,
I believe I can speak more to that matter. That is actually what I called you in here to discuss. Doctor, if you know anything, please tell me! As the manager of Chihaya's schedule, I have a responsibility to take into account any information you can give me. I see. Then I do indeed have certain information that should be shared with you. Chihaya-kun, do I have your permission?
Yes, please tell him.
Very well. Then I need you to keep calm and listen carefully. Chihaya's acute case of aphonia was, in fact, a psychosomatic symptom. Something impressed upon this girl's heart so severely as to temporarily render her literally dumbstruck. Psychosomatic? Something impressed upon her heart? Precisely. Even with no apparent physical damage to the body or vocal cords, it's certainly not unheard of to develop acute aphonia in response to, say, high levels of stress or sudden psychological trauma. In fact, a colleague of mine examined this girl Garnett several years ago. But anyway.
Spoilers! We haven't gotten to that part yet!
And there's no doubt Chihaya-kun experienced one of the above tonight. Fortunately, she appears to have calmed down and made a recovery for the time being. But what exactly could have stressed or shocked her so much as to make her lose her voice? Yes, well, the specific trigger is not so easy to diagnose. It's possible it was the stress from her job, pressure she's been under, maybe even the unexpected surfacing of a traumatic memory. Any number of things could do that to a person. We can only speculate. Perhaps not even Chihaya-kun herself could tell you with any certainty. Which is why I would advise against worrying about it too much and pressing her on the matter. That would only serve to hinder her recovery. All right. I understand, Doctor. I'm glad Chihaya got her voice back. Really glad, but what am I supposed to do now?
Producer?
Yes, Chihaya?
Please wipe that worried look off your face. He'll be alright now. You don't have to be so concerned.
Yeah, do I really look that worried? Even after the doctor warned me not to be. I'm sorry, Chihaya, but I can't help it. How could I possibly not worry about you, to have seen that happen to you right in front of me?
Yes, I know. But as you can see, I've already recovered.
I know you're alright now, but unless I know the exact cause, we have no way of knowing whether it could happen again, or how to prevent it. Problem is, I'm positive she doesn't want to hear me continue that line of thought.
I'm certain it was merely a matter of fatigue catching up with me. Particularly the moment our nomination was secured. It was like letting all the tension out of a wound-up spring, almost. And,
I see. That certainly is a possibility. Probably a whole lot more than a possibility, in fact. Maybe some time off from singing would actually do her some good. Well then, if I may be so bold as to make a suggestion, Chihaya. Want to try out some modeling work for a while? Pin-up shoots, maybe?
But, producer! Excuse me, but am I to take that question seriously?
Sorry if I startled you, but yes, I am dead serious. Just hear me out. You think maybe you've been putting too much force behind your efforts to improve your singing recently? I mean, going back to the spring analogy, the more time you spend obsessively winding it, the more it pushes back until it takes tremendous effort not just to keep winding it, but to even stay where you are. Isn't that an insane amount of pressure to have to deal with all the time?
I see. Meaning, your intention is to relieve the pressure by pulling me away from that obsession?
Well, of course I don't know for sure if what I just said has anything to do with why you lost your voice or not, but still, I can't look at you right now and think it wouldn't be a good idea to at least try it. I care about you, you know?
To think you'd be so... Then... What's the point?
What else is on your mind, Chihaya? I can't follow your train of thought.
It's nothing. Thank you, producer. I do greatly appreciate your thoughtfulness. But you can trust me when I say I truly am just fine now.
Chihaya, but...
I mean, to begin with, there's little to no chance that I would ever find success as, the pinup girl, no matter how much effort I put into it.
Oh, come on. I don't think that's true.
Moreover, I will not be denied the opportunity to perform at the nomination ceremony next week. I must therefore ask that you do not speak of restricting my singing at this time.
In her heart of hearts, she is dead set in her decision. It's as clear as the unwavering eyes locked onto mine. Alright, you win, Chihaya. If nothing else, at least, I suppose there is no doubt you've got your voice back. If you're really that determined to keep on putting that beautiful voice of yours to good use, if that's truly what you've decided for yourself, then I'll do everything I can to support you.
Thank you, producer. Thank you so much. Oh, but also, I don't know if it's too much to ask, but maybe if we could keep tonight a secret from the other girls?
I don't mind. I won't say anything to them. At this point in time, I don't think it would accomplish anything but to worry them. But I want you to promise me this, Chihaya. If you ever lose your voice again, even just for a little while, then for your own sake.
I assure you, producer, it won't come to that. As I said, I have already made a full recovery. Besides, even if my resolve doesn't start to waver, Besides, even if my resolve does start to waver again, this I promise you, I will bring it under control myself.
Chihaya's frigid determination to face her worries alone, the likes of which I had grown unaccustomed to hearing from her, seemed to chill the night air to a stop. I couldn't find the breath to argue further, nor to even ask her the one question. What was it that weakened your resolve tonight? Partly because I wanted to think I already knew, and that was a discussion for the whole group to have next week. But also, perhaps, because I had no idea what look I'd see on her face the instant I did ask. And it terrified me. Flash forward a week to after the nomination. Oh yes, break. And we're back.
Sorry, guys.
Flash forward a week to after the nomination ceremony that Jupiter essentially takes over, even though they were just one of... Even though they were just one of 24 units there. Why do I come away with the feeling that tonight wasn't really an Idol Academy Grand Prix nomination ceremony so much as a Jupiter nomination ceremony? God damn that Kuroi. Is this the true power of the enemy we've made for ourselves in 961 production? Not just a solid performance from his idols, but the resources and influence to work such a lopsided advantage for himself into the system? I have no choice but to admit it's more effective than I would have liked. Oh my, what do we have here? One would think the world was coming to an end to look at this poor melancholic sap. I wonder what spelling bee he flunked out of. Oh wait, it was only a certain inconsequential producer who happened to roll himself a bit too far from his native dung heap of 765 production. Regretting it so soon, are we? Speak of the devil. I can only assume you came all the way over here specifically to trash talk me again. Do I look like I have such copious free time to you? Then again, to conjecture otherwise would obviously require a higher level of thinking than a lesser life form like yourself is capable of. I was simply reminiscing and reveling in the sublime satisfaction of having so masterfully manipulated tonight's ceremonies, and walking away its supreme ruler. Therefore, I have no desire for this plebeian elation of mine to be soured by vermin with no right to exist. So do hurry and take your misery elsewhere. Shoo, shoo. I'm under no compulsion to take orders from you, thank you very much. Who do you think you are? You think you've got it made just because you got to show off today, but I'll tell you, no! Just listen to yourself. The fact that you so much as imagined you could qualify that statement with a but is proof positive that you are forever a hopeless, tactless, powerful... God damn it, Kayla.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
She heard you and she got excited. Kayla, lay down, baby. There you go.
Proof positive that you are forever a hopeless, tactless, powerless, worthless failure! What are you even talking about? Wake up and smell the toilet you bathe in already, or do I need to connect the dots for you? Consider Amagase Toma, a singular force against whom your entire unit was not capable of lifting a finger. And now, consider that by my design, 3 such beings now tower over you as the Optimus Maximus Jupiter! What chance of victory do your hapless hatchlings have? Not a housefly's hope in a hurricane, obviously! Is that how you think it is? Well, I disagree.
As do I. If that is what truly you believe.
Whoops, sorry, is what you truly...
I was like, what? If that is what you truly believe, then this is all the more reason why we will be the ones to triumph in the end.
Chihaya, don't tell me you've been listening. Ah, yes, Kisaragi Chihaya. I always had you pegged for one of the slightly less defective minds of the lot. But alas, the frog has confined herself to the well for too long, no longer capable of comprehending the true might of the ruler of the vast open seas. She is beyond redemption. Such a miserable, pitiful creature.
Your pity is neither welcome nor necessary. I would be perfectly capable of recognizing the extent of your idol's true abilities, had they been on display tonight. But rather than demonstrating the courage to allow them to freely express themselves, you instead chose to cower behind an illusion, confining their performance to your own interpretation of power. If anyone ought to be pitied, it is them.
What was that? She's right, you know. You can paint them any shade of overwhelming you like, but I can promise you we're not about to lose to a handful of 961 puppets! Ha! Ha! Piece of shit for brains! What level of degeneracy is required to lose even the ability to distinguish illusion from reality? But just as well, in fact. Yes, cling to that tattered, minuscule scrap of wet tissue paper that is your foolish pride. I shall be that much happier to tear it from your hands and toss it to the almighty Jupiter to be torn to shreds and trampled into dust.
Do so at your leisure, if you are, in fact, capable.
Well, allow me to promise you this, kitten. The day shall come whereupon you find yourself licking those words out of the mire you spawned from. And with that, if you don't mind, I bid you good day. Ha! He finally went away. I just don't get it. How does such an inhuman grown Japanese citizen even exist?
That was exhausting.
Are you alright, Chihaya? I could have handled that guy myself. You didn't have to step in.
I apologize. I didn't mean to... I shouldn't have spoken out of turn.
No, I'm not saying you spoke out of turn. I just feel bad about you having to go through that. I know talking to him can be quite the exhausting endeavor.
Perhaps I wouldn't hesitate to call the experience unpleasant, but something deep down just wouldn't let me stand back and remain silent. Maybe I simply didn't want to admit to myself that I had truly felt intimidated by Jupiter's strong showing tonight.
I guess Chihaya felt it too. When it comes down to it, 961 is not an opponent we can afford to take lightly.
But even that cannot sway me from my convictions. We will win. We'll show them how we rise above them, producer.
Yes, we will. That's the spirit, Chihaya. And I'll tell you one thing. I know 961 might appear to be a severe threat on the surface. But you were right. It's all an illusion. He may not realize it, but in our conversation with Kuroi just now, he gave away Jupiter for what it really is. Yes, each individual member possesses above-average talent, but all he's done is cobble them into a hastily thrown-together unit that's nothing but the sum of its parts. You girls are more than the sum of your parts, Chihaya. Jupiter could never measure up to the strength of the bonds you three have cultivated with each other, working so closely together this past year.
Yes, well, I agree. I agree with you. Yes, well, I agree with you save for one point. It's not only the three of us. I believe our greatest strength of all lies in our bond with none other than you,
What's the matter?
Producer. Someday soon, you'll...
Someday soon I'll... What? Chihaya?
No, my apologies. I didn't mean to say anything.
She's starting to remind me of last week. Is it just as I feared? Does she already know about my Hollywood trip? Well, if I have time to worry about that, it would be better spent just facing the music and telling all of them properly. Actually, Chihaya, there's something I need to speak to the three of you about.
Huh?
Not here, though. Would you gather the other girls for me and meet me off the ship, please?
Yes. Understood, producer. I've gathered everyone as you requested, producer. Did you need to speak to us about Jupiter, perhaps?
No, it's something else. All this time, we've been focusing on getting nominated for, and now winning, the Grand Prix. But where do we go from there? We've never taken a moment to discuss our plans for after winning the Grand Prix, have we?
Now that you mention it, I've never even thought about what we would do after winning the Grand Prix. But then again, we still don't know for sure if we will win. I've always figured winning the Grand Prix was like a free pass to just live it up as top idols, right? Wouldn't we do just that?
Actually, there's something that I never told you about that applies to the producer of any unit that gets nominated. The group that sponsors the award, the Idol Academy Union, it affords all of them the opportunity to study in Hollywood for a year.
Producer, you mean to say that you...
I'm afraid so, Chihaya. After this year's Grand Prix is awarded, I won't be with you anymore. I'll be studying abroad to improve my skills. It'll only be for a year, but even after I come back, I honestly don't know for sure whether I'll be assigned to manage the three of you as a unit again. The bottom line is, there is a possibility that after the Grand Prix, our work together could be over for good.
Ow.
Careful.
That's me trying to do all three of them at once. Ow.
Careful.
My throat shouldn't do that. Okay. Please, wait just a minute. I figured you would eventually have to part ways with us for a time, but you're saying for good?
So, You mean you did already know, Chihaya? That I would eventually be going to Hollywood?
I'm terribly sorry, producer. I overheard you and the president discussing the matter from the hallway, and that's when...
That led to the rest of the evening?
I believe so. Although the truth is, it was always something I had been distantly aware of from the beginning. That opportunity, I mean. But I think the reality of the situation never impressed upon me before it actually started to happen. And now that it has, I...
So you knew about it this whole time. But even then you kept it to yourself until I was ready to talk about it. I'm sorry, Chihaya. You shouldn't have had to bear that burden all by yourself. It must have been painful.
No! Please, you don't have to worry about that. After all, I don't even dare imagine how much more painful it must have been for you, producer. Don't get me wrong, though. I do want for you to be able to go and study abroad. I would love that for you. I'm certain you would gain so much from the experience. But even then, to hear that we'll have to give up on ever receiving guidance from you again in exchange. It's just too much.
Well, let me make myself clear, Chihaya. I have no intention of just giving up on ever working with you again once I leave. I'm sorry for worrying you, but there's a reason I broke the news the way I did. I just wanted to make sure you're prepared for the worst-case scenario.
The worst-case scenario?
Here's the way I feel about this. If I'm going to have to study abroad anyway, I'd want to make the most of that time and absorb as much as I possibly can. But if somewhere in the back of my mind it all felt like a side job, or that I had unfinished business to attend to back home, I doubt I'd be able to focus on studying. That's why I wanted to draw a line in the sand for us, by officially ending my first term as your producer after the Grand Prix is awarded. And I wanted you girls to know what was coming, in the unlikely event that the worst comes to pass.
I see. I understand perfectly how you feel, producer.
Thank you, Chihaya. Of course, I do have some ideas in mind already for our second term, but that's neither here nor there for now.
Meaning, the bottom line is, once you've completed your studies, you fully intend to return to us, correct? That being the case, I have no doubt all of us will be happy to answer your commitment by continuing our own work to the best of our abilities as we await your return. So that when you do, you'll find yourself free to bring the full brunt of your newly acquired knowledge and abilities to bear upon us. And so that we, in turn, will be ready to follow you wherever you may lead us. Anywhere at all.
Thank goodness. It looks like we've managed to come to an understanding. Well, at any rate, my trip to Hollywood and whatever may happen afterward aren't what's most important right now. What is making sure that we achieve our primary objective as a unit, the Idol Academy Grand Prix.
I agree. If we didn't win the Grand Prix, you'd have to leave us with all kinds of regrets, producer. I wouldn't want that. For sure. We're gonna do our best to give you a happy send-off, and that includes getting you a nice shiny Grand Prix trophy as the ultimate going-away present.
I became your producer to turn you into top idols. For all of us. We'll earn that Grand Prix together.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
When we do this scene in the future, we'll just do the part of the main girl's conversation that's different from the rest of the scene. Over to week 45. Come to think of it, tomorrow is going to be our first day off in quite some time, isn't it? I'm just a little worried about taking too much time off this close to the grand final. Well, that just means we'll have to put the time we have left to the most effective use possible. I'll give everything I have to see those girls over the finish line.
You finally left work, I see.
Come on, Chihaya. Can't be sneaking up on me like that. I thought you would have gone home a long time ago.
My apologies, producer, but I was actually waiting for you. I figured I would eventually see you pass by if I waited here.
You were waiting? Did you remember you needed to speak to me about something?
Yes, actually. It's about our day off tomorrow. If you wouldn't mind, I was wondering if I could ask you to accompany me to a certain place.
You want to go somewhere tomorrow? Together? No, I don't mind, but how's your body? Shouldn't you be using this time to rest?
And again, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't you think you ought to be more attentive to your own health now and then?
There's nothing wrong with me, really. I don't think.
You don't think? I really don't like the sound of that, producer. Your body is your most valuable resource, and it is imperative that it be treated as such. You and I are no different in that regard.
I guess, when you put it that way. I never thought I'd be the one hearing you lecture me like that, though. I'm sorry, I'll be more careful from now on.
My apologies. I didn't mean to be coming across as authoritative. I haven't offended you, have I?
Of course not, Chihaya, stop that! On the contrary, it makes me happy to see you care about me so much. But I promise you I'm fine, okay? You girls haven't run me into the ground yet.
Well then, what a relief. But you will remember to take care of yourself for me from now on, won't you please?
Sure. Isn't this the exact opposite of the direction this exchange usually goes between us? The world must be going crazy. So anyway, where are we going tomorrow?
To the place I always visit without fail whenever I must face a major life decision. I think you might be somewhat surprised to see where that is, though.
I would? What exactly is this place? The next day... This is a cemetery? That is a little surprising. This is the place you were talking about that lets you meditate on major decisions?
There is a reason. See that small gravestone over there? My little brother, whom I told you about before. That's his resting place.
Your little brother. I remember you told me you lost him in an accident 9 years ago.
Correct. It was a car accident.
I see. Now it's starting to make sense.
I come here to visit him from time to time, although lately I have been trying to refrain from doing so until we had achieved our ultimate goal. But at any time I find myself at a critical juncture, or just when I need someone to talk to, guaranteed I'll be here talking to him. Though, of course, talking to him is putting it
Disingenuously.
Thank you. Though, of course, talking to him is putting it disingenuously. The reality is that it's little more than a rather roundabout method of talking to myself. My poor brother is likely quite tired of putting up with it.
I doubt that. His big sister is coming to talk to him. If anything, that'd make him happy. I would be.
I hope you're right.
But that being the case, why did you bring me with you today?
Do you remember, a while back, how I temporarily lost my voice on the night we received our Idol Academy Grand Prix nomination?
Yes. How could I forget? Between the nomination, my Hollywood trip, and a bunch of other stuff, the cumulative shock was just too much to handle for a little while, wasn't it?
Well, the truth is, that wasn't the first time something like that has happened.
What do you mean?
9 years ago, when I first learned of my brother's death, I lost my voice then as well.
You're saying the exact same thing happened to you then?
Though in that case, it wasn't until half a year later that my voice spontaneously returned to me one moment, when I started crying about something. I gradually recovered after that. But until then, child that I was, I seriously imagined that my brother must have mistakenly taken my voice with him when he left us.
If that's the case, I really need to thank him, don't I? For giving you back your beautiful singing voice.
No, I'm not a child anymore. To choose not to face reality, and instead placate myself with such a fairy tale, and instead placate myself with such fairy tale logic, would be utterly inexcusable.
What? What's wrong all of a sudden?
There has always been one and only one reason for me to ever lose my voice. It's because my own heart is weak. That's why I'm constantly losing sight of myself and shutting out the rest of the world.
Well, wait a minute, Chihaya! You shouldn't torment yourself like that. I really don't think it's good for your health to brood over things like that too much.
There's no torment here, producer. Only a solemn acceptance of the truth.
Chihaya?
Which brings me to the reason I brought you here today. I have a favor I must ask of you. If even should it turn out that I happen to lose my voice again, I don't want you to second guess yourself. I want you to leave me behind.
No! Stop that right now! I know what you're trying to say, Chihaya, and you know as well as I do. It's a stupid thing to say. But for the record, I'll tell you one thing. If that did happen again, if it really was that difficult for you, it would only prove I wasn't even qualified to study in Hollywood in the first place. Not to mention, I personally would never want to leave you behind like that. I wouldn't go.
I know that's what you would do, producer. That is precisely the reason I felt it necessary to ask this of you ahead of time.
I know. You've always been one to plan ahead. But I'm sorry, Chihaya, that's one request I simply cannot abide by.
But please reconsider.
I know you wouldn't want to feel like you're weighing me down, but I have my own feelings on the matter too, you know. I don't care how sad it makes you. I don't care how angry it makes you. I would gladly accept any sentiment you threw at me. Because the bottom line is, I couldn't leave you behind in that state. And what's more, I refuse. That's my decision. You know I'd do anything for you, Chihaya, but that's one thing I just can't. I'm sorry.
Producer.
But anyway, enough about that. Don't you think it's a little early for us to even be having this conversation? I know neither of us can help but worry about what's happened before, but your voice is holding up just fine now, isn't it? I really don't think we should be this concerned about eventualities that haven't presented themselves yet. Not when there's still so much more we could be looking forward to instead.
Yes, you're right. Of course. My apologies, producer. I suppose that was yet another moment of weakness on my part. To think I'm putting on such a pitiful display right in front of my little brother. I'm sure he must be about to die of laughter. Oh my!
Die again of laughter.
Oh. I'm sure he must be about to die again of laughter. Oh my!
What is it, Chihaya?
Producer, look! It's a swallow. He's flying in circles all around us, almost as if he were trying to dance with us.
Wow, you're right! It's really unusual for one to be flying so close to people, isn't it? Perch. Chihaya? I think he just landed on my shoulder.
I don't believe it. Producer, if you could just please hold still for just a moment. Hey, come on. Ah! Well, there he goes. It appears he took a great deal more of a liking to you than me, producer. I wonder why on earth he approached us like that all of a sudden. You don't suppose he lives somewhere close by?
I wonder. Well, I can think of one explanation, though if I say it out loud, you're probably going to yell at me for using fairy tale logic. You think maybe it was your little brother that asked him to come dance for us? I can just see him watching you down here thinking, hey, big sis could use some encouragement. I'll ask this guy to go cheer her up.
Producer. Yes, I see. Very well then. Why don't we go with that? But in that case, I had best go over and explain myself to him, hadn't I? Would you like to come say a few words to him as well, producer?
Me? You don't mind? I mean, I'd feel bad about getting in your way, or...
What do you mean in my way? Not in the least. Come now, my brother would most definitely love to hear what you have to say.
Why do you think that?
Well, because this is the first time I've ever brought another person here with me. Wouldn't you be eager to know what such a person... Wouldn't he... Oh, I for some reason I didn't realize where that was going. Wouldn't you be eager to know what such a person must be like if you were him?
I'm the first person you've ever brought here? That's quite an honor. Well, okay, but then what are you going to say about me when you introduce him to me?
Oh, well, that's a secret. Though if you truly wish to know, you might try asking him yourself. Who knows, he may even answer you. He is quite the sociable child, unlike me.
Ha. Okay, guess I don't have a choice. Oh man, I really hope he does tell me. We spent the day together on that grassy hill, gazing up at the sky, enjoying the endless songs of the swallows coming from somewhere far off in the distance. Every now and then our gazes drifting into one another, breaking into warm smiles. How you doing?
Alright.
All right.
Kagami's texting me and making it very hard to pay attention.
Wait, Kagami is?
Yeah.
When did she get there?
She's at work. She's texting me from work.
Oh. Oh, you said texting me, not next to me.
Yeah, she's asking me to go to a play with her at Rowan University tomorrow night.
Oh, I see. Rowan University, is it?
And I'm like, I don't want to tell you no because I know how you feel in theaters, but Hana and I have plans. So I think I'm going to end up going with her.
Alright.
I'm sorry. I know we were going to play tomorrow night, but...
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay.
Hey, Travis.
Hi, Travis!
We're just about to begin week 53 here. It's finally time. Next week is the final decisive battle. Kinda hard to believe how much has happened this past year. I have to admit, for a while I wasn't sure how things were going to turn out after Chihaya lost her voice. But we got past it, and there's no need to hold anything back now that we've reached the end game. All that's left is to give it our all and pound Jupiter into the dirt next week. Hey, I know I've heard that cough before. I knew it! Chihaya! What are you doing here? You really don't look well at all. What happened?
My apologies. I just needed to stop and rest for a bit.
What the? She looks like she's about to fall over! I gotta hurry up and catch her! Oh man, that was a close one. What on earth? What is this? Her body is burning up! Chihaya, do you have any idea how much of a fever you have? Where did this come from all of a sudden?
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. I just can't bear to see you suffering like this. Come on, let's get you to see your doctor, okay?
Forgive me.
I told you to stop apologizing! I'm calling up a taxi right... No, wait. Maybe you need an ambulance? Come on, Chihaya, stay with me. You gotta hang in there. I'll be right here with you, okay?
Yes.
Chihaya's pulse pounding furiously against my hand through soaked, feverish skin, desperately clinging to life. It was an all too familiar feeling. Damn it, we promised. She said she would talk to me from now on. Why does she keep pushing herself this far? What am I doing wrong? Good God, Chihaya-kun! What happened to you? I don't know, she just collapsed. I'm so sorry, Doctor. Clearly I wasn't paying close enough attention to her. If only I'd noticed sooner. This isn't your fault, though she does appear to be considerably exhausted. I was hoping it wouldn't have progressed this far so soon. What? Progressed? In any case, we must treat her fever first. Don't worry, her life should not be in danger. Please be patient and wait here. Yes, Doctor. Please help her. 1 hour later. Thank you for waiting. For the moment, Chihaya-kun's symptoms have begun to subside. She is currently asleep in the next room over, so please remember to keep your voice down. Thank you for helping her, Doctor. I really do appreciate it. But there's something I need you to tell me. You know something, don't you? You said something had progressed. Does that mean Chihaya had some other condition to begin with? Your insight serves you well, I see. Very well, I suppose you are within your rights to hear this much from me. But remember, no matter what I tell you, you must remain calm. Understood, Doctor. Please tell me. Well, to put it simply, it would appear that Chihaya-kun's voice has reached its limit. Wait, what? I am sorry to have to break this news to you, but I'm afraid the poor girl is no longer able to sing. No! Doctor, what is this all of a sudden? I don't... The reason Chihaya-kun came down with a fever tonight is because the chronic inflammation of her throat flared up without warning. Chronic inflammation? I can only presume her throat has finally crossed the tipping point. It must have been quite painful for her. Wait! Go back for a second, please! I have no idea where any of this is coming from! All this talk of inflammation and tipping points and that she can't sing anymore. How did it even come to this? What the hell happened to Chihaya? The last time she lost her voice and I brought her here, didn't you tell me it was a psychosomatic symptom? Yes, well, the stimulus was indeed psychological in nature. But in truth, that stimulus only served to compound existing complications. Complications? What complications? You have to understand something. As a doctor, I am sworn to protect my patients' confidentiality. I can only provide this information on a need-to-know basis. But I suppose you, being for all intents and purposes Chihaya-kun's guardian, have a need to know, now that it has come to this. Did she ever tell you she also lost her voice once when she was a child? Yes, she did. She told me about it a little while back. That she lost her voice from the shock of losing her little brother. But I thought she recovered from that. She can speak just fine now, can't she? It's true. She did recover her normal speaking voice. However, ever since then, she has been unable to project her voice to any degree near what is required to sing on stage. Not without severely straining herself. She has to strain herself? How severely? Imagine screaming with all your might, forcefully enough to make yourself hoarse, after just a few seconds. That's how Chihaya-kun has had to use her voice. What? Are you telling me she's been doing that to herself all this time? Correct. I've been examining her periodically, and I can tell you this. It's a proper miracle she's even held up this long, through all the inflammation it has caused. Had she not been blessed with such a resilient throat, her voice would have given out a very long time ago. I don't believe it. But as much as I prayed that miracle would last forever, it was inevitable that the cumulative stress she was placing on her vocal cords would eventually cross over some kind of tipping point. And now it has, like a pane of glass, enduring greater and greater pressure, until finally it can't take any more, and shatters to pieces in an instant. Well, she still shouldn't have any problem speaking normally, but I can't say I foresee her ever singing on stage again. So that's what happened. I never had any idea. What was that noise? Did it come from the next room?
Producer.
Chihaya! Wait, you didn't hear what we were just... I believe she already knows for herself that she's past her tipping point. Don't you, Chihaya-kun? It's not as if the inflammation in your throat was painless. In fact, I'm positive it must have been quite torturous at the worst of times. You are the one who had to deal with it, yet you continued to sing anyway. Whether it was your dream, or a certain sense of responsibility, I don't know. As your doctor, I can only wish I could understand what drove you to push yourself so hard.
I apologize, Doctor. And to you as well, Producer.
Chihaya. Now then, the nurse will be with you shortly. I believe the two of you have some things to discuss in the meantime. Right. Ka-chink.
Producer? So we told you everything, didn't he?
Yes. He told me how much you have to hurt yourself to sing on
Sorry.
He told me how much you've had to hurt yourself to sing on stage all this time. So why? Please tell me, Chihaya, why did you push yourself so hard? Is it my fault? Were you only trying to live up to the responsibility I gave you to lead our unit?
That's not true. I took up this path of my own volition to fulfill my dream of becoming an accomplished vocalist. You know this. I made that decision back when I made my solo debut. Before the unit. Before we even met. Indeed, if anything, the encouragement of you and the other group members has actually been a boon to my physical health. It's just
what, Chihaya?
It's just that my body turned out to be far weaker than I would have liked. Neither my body nor my heart have sufficient strength to make my dream come true. That's the plain and simple truth.
Chihaya, don't...
It had been my intention to tell you all of this myself immediately following the grand final. Till then I had hoped I would just be able to hold out somehow. But instead I fell to my own weakness just days prior. And you had to witness the absolute worst side of me in the worst way possible. If only I had kept my...
Chihaya! You're right. I never did hear about it directly from you. But it's okay. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
I promised that I would always come talk to you about everything, and yet...
What's done is done, Chihaya. And besides, it's not your fault. I understand that now.
I mean, I'm not supposed to keep these secrets from you anymore, yes? Otherwise, you'll scold me again. If even should it turn out that I happen to lose my voice again, I don't want you to second guess yourself. I want you to leave me behind. Yes, you're right. Of course. My apologies, producer. I suppose that was yet another moment of weakness on my part.
You wanted to tell me. You tried to so many times. It's not your fault that you just couldn't get the words out. The fault is mine for failing to pick up on it.
That's not true.
No, it's true. I've completely failed you, Chihaya. It's not even a question of going to Hollywood or not anymore. From the very beginning, I lacked even the qualification to be a producer. If I can't even let my own idol keep on singing until the end of my term, I should never...
In that case, please do let me keep on singing until the end.
What? What are you...
As your idol, I'm asking that until the Idol Academy Grand Prix has been awarded, you would allow me to continue singing my songs.
Chihaya, what do you think you're even talking about? Well, I mean, I can understand how you must feel, but come on, your throat!
There is no need for you to concern yourself with my throat, producer. One way or another, it's already a lost cause. Unfortunately, if I were to take any extended period of time to rest now, I would never again be able to sing as I have been. Such are my own just deserts. But even in this state, if I push myself, I should be able to last just a bit longer. I could still give at least 2, maybe 3 more performances.
What do you mean, if? You have been pushing yourself this whole time! And now you're saying even more?!
I apologize. But if this really is the end, then I would prefer to go out having never stopped singing as long as I possibly could. To finally take the place I've worked so hard to earn on that ultimate stage, to stand upon it by the skin of my teeth. If you would be willing to see me at least that far, producer, I'd have no regrets.
You'd have no regrets? So what, you want to go up on stage at the grand final and literally burn yourself out?
So please, let me So please, let me keep singing just a little while longer. And then, in the event that I'm able to make it all the way through the final performance, no matter who wins, would you be willing to go to Hollywood? For my sake, producer?
Now wait!
I'd like to keep going, of course, but I'm afraid my own broken wings have been thoroughly broken. Wow, I read that wrong. I read that wrong.
Broken is not twice there.
I'm afraid my own wings have been thoroughly broken. I don't think I'll be flying much further than this. That's why I'd like for you to spread your own wings and fly in my place, farther than the farthest stars, higher than anyone has ever flown, freer than anyone has ever been. From now on, that will be my dream. I know one more selfish request to indulge from your... I know one more selfish request to indulge from your disobedient, self-centered idol, Kisaragi Chihaya. But please.
So, you're saying you'd place all your own hopes and dreams on me?
Yes.
If that's the case, then as her producer, there's only one way I could possibly answer Chihaya's complete devotion. I'll just have to swallow my own feelings and come to terms with it. If that's truly what she's decided she wants for herself, then I have double the responsibility to honor her decision. Oh, all right. I understand, Chihaya. You'll have nothing less than my full support until the very end. I promise.
Producer, thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Believe me, I know. I know how much it means for you to be entrusting your dream to me. And yes, when it's all over, I'll take it with me to Hollywood. We'll see the sights and take in the outside world together. And I promise you, I'll carry your dream all the way up to the summit you always dreamed of seeing for yourself one day.
Yes, that sounds wonderful. As long as I know that my dream will always live on in your heart, that you'll always take me with you in spirit wherever you go.
I will. But there's one thing I need you to do for me. What's most important right now is that we make sure you really don't have any regrets when it's all over. If there's anything I can do to help you do that, just ask me and I'll take care of it. Anything at all. I mean it.
No. I already have your wings, to bear my dream and fly in place of my own broken ones. There isn't anything else. You've already given me everything I could have asked for. Producer.
Chihaya. There's not a trace of doubt or hesitation to be found in those eyes of hers. If anything, they look like the starry, hopeful eyes of a new idol who just found out she got her debut. Alright. We'll soar together, Chihaya. I will show you the peak of the mountain you always wanted to see!
Yes. Together, producer. Anywhere you go. Anywhere at all.
And so, when we informed Chihaya's doctor of our decision, he only said, "I thought as much," and with a sad smile, promised his support. Why did it have to come to this? Chihaya's going to torture her throat until it gives out, and there's nothing I can do about it? Share in her pain without turning my eyes away. Lend her my shoulder when she stumbles. Hope she can hang in there for 2 more weeks. That's all I can do for her now. I'd do it even if it wasn't my job. Of course, if I had actually been even remotely good at doing my job, then... Damn it! I thought I had come to understand her! But this whole time, I didn't understand anything at all! Two is more story-focused than Platinum Stars or, One for All, so... more, traditional visual novel-based, so it had room to go full-on emotional impact with the story.
And breaking Kage repeatedly.
I'm sorry.
I love you.
I love you too. but it's okay. As long as you sweep the Idol Academy Awards, you'll get the best ending.
Yeah, the first time Hana came down to visit, he walked me through, and I beat the whole game with his help with Makoto, and then it took me like 5 tries on my own to beat it, after I wrote down everything he did every week in his Chihaya playthrough, and followed that schedule. And surprisingly, the first time I beat the game perfectly on my own was with Chihaya.
Alright, so just after sweeping the awards and the nomination ceremony closing. Later that night. Hey. Been looking for you.
My apologies, producer. The cool breeze simply felt too good. Before I knew it, Oh, but what about the other 2? Will they be alright?
Yeah, they're fine. I already sent them back in their own taxi. I told them we'd be back later because you were looking a little feverish. They were awfully worried about you, though, you know?
I see. I fear I've done them a terrible disservice. I know everyone, myself included, would have preferred to stay together. Today of all days.
Can you get your microphone a little closer for this part?
Yeah.
Hey now, don't be talking like that. We both knew something like this was coming, right? Probably the instant you relaxed your guard. Come on, can you walk? I can call another taxi right over and we can get you to the hospital.
I'm sorry, but I'd like to enjoy the breeze. Just a little longer, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course not. We'll stay as long as you like, Chihaya. You have all the time in the world now, after all. But you do still have a fever, so I don't want you overdoing it. Why don't we sit down over there and rest?
Very well. My apologies, producer. Even now, at the very end, it appears, all I can do is inconvenience you.
Don't be silly, Chihaya. If I'm being perfectly honest, I hadn't had enough yet. I was just wishing for a little more time to savor this moment together. Together with my top idol who gave it her all and sacrificed everything to reach this point with her friends.
Why wouldn't I have given it my all? This is just me being selfish again.
I don't care. I would give you anything you asked me for right now. I mean, look at you. You knew what would happen. But you kept on singing all the way to the end, like you said. And your show tonight was the greatest of all. Can you even imagine how happy and proud and blessed I am to have managed such an incredible, one-of-a-kind idol?
Me as well. Couldn't be happier. Such one-of-a-kind producer. Luckiest idol alive.
Thank you, Chihaya. Coming from you, that means more to me than anything anyone else could say.
Producer.
The wind's getting pretty chilly, don't you think? Aren't you cold, Chihaya?
Fine. Your body. More, producer.
Oh. What do you mean I'm warm, dear? You're the one with the fever.
Didn't mean to make uncomfortable.
Shh. No one said anything about you making me uncomfortable. I'm happy that you and I can be this close, Chihaya. It warms me all the way down to my soul.
Thank goodness. Swallow?
Wow, it is a swallow. He seems awfully energetic, considering how late he's up. Huh. Almost like... You don't suppose he's a friend of that swallow from that one time? Come to congratulate you on your victory?
So much fun, isn't it? Singing your heart out.
You're right. It really does seem like it's going all out with that song.
Producer, it's the truth.
Yes, Chihaya?
Truth is not ready. Really wanted to keep on singing.
Chihaya. Chihaya? Fell asleep on me, did you? Alright then, let's get you to the hospital, sleepyhead. I'm sure you'll feel better if we have your doctor take care of you. Then you can rest comfortably. It's alright. You did good, Chihaya. You've already sung enough. It's alright. Just rest, Chihaya. You don't have to sing anymore. You don't have to suffer. It's alright. Isn't it?
Really? Is it really okay?
It's...
I really wanted to keep on singing. Has she really sung enough already? Is it really okay that Big Sis won't sing anymore?
It can't be. How can it? She just said herself that's not what she wants, didn't she? Singing was more important to her than anything. I'm supposed to be her producer. No, not even as her producer. I wanted to let her keep singing forever. I wanted to hear her sing forever. And that's more important to me than anything. Because I love her singing. I love her! I love her more than anyone else!
Really?
I'll say it as many times as you want! I love her! Do you hear me?
Good. I'm glad. Then it'll be okay. This means that from now on, you'll look after Big Sis. Won't you, mister?
What?
Even if I'm not there anymore, she'll be okay. She can have mine. It'll all be okay.
Who was I just talking to? weird. I don't hear that swallow anymore either. It was being so noisy earlier. So why... Nah. There's just no way. Ah! Great, fantastic time to be conversing with voices in your head, Hana. Come on, Chihaya, let's get you to see your doctor. Chihaya kept drifting in and out of consciousness the whole time I was trying to get her to the hospital. Even after we made it there, though, I still had to write up a detailed report on the day's events for the president, so I just stayed in the waiting room to do it. Holy crap, morning already. Guess I ended up staying here all night after all. Wonder if Chihaya's still asleep. I was hoping we could at least go back to the office together today, but...
Run.
Alright, who's running?
Producer! Producer! Good morning!
And a good morning to you too, Chihaya? I take it you're feeling better this morning?
Yes, I am. I'm all better. My body, my throat, my voice, everything is all better.
Huh?
Sorry, I broke. That was great.
Yeah, well, I still have to reproduce this part next. Oh my god.
When I awoke, the pain in my throat had vanished without a trace. And then, of course, I couldn't help but want to try it out, so I sang. I freely projected my voice to my liking without any pain. Just as I could when I was little, I can sing.
You sang? You mean you actually... Wait, what?! Hold on! Are you sure you aren't just doing more damage? Did you have your doctor look at it, or...?
Of course, I told him right away, and he was just as surprised as you are. Oh, here he comes!
Run. You there! What the devil did you do to Chihaya-kun while she was asleep? I didn't do anything! Could we maybe not yell things like that at me in public? Is it true, Doctor? Is Chihaya really? I can scarcely believe it myself, but it's true. Chihaya-kun's throat has made a complete recovery. I foresee no complications preventing her from singing ever again.
Producer?
Chihaya! Well, I can hear myself in your microphone and your speakers.
Sorry.
Do you have headphones?
They're on the other side of the room and they're not working.
Fuck. Chihaya! Good for you, Chihaya! I don't even know what to say. Congratulations!
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
But, Doctor, considering all of what you said the last time you examined her, how could this have even happened all of a sudden? Oh my god. Yes, well, we have a particular diagnosis for cases like these, and it's called damned if I know. I mean, there had been absolutely no change in her condition even when I examined her last night. It's as if her body spontaneously willed itself to remember how to sing. Or possibly, what if the extreme stress on her vocal cords had actually been triggering a transformation? What if the tipping point wasn't a matter of irreparable damage, but adaptation? But without more thorough examination, we can't be sure of... No, wait! there's that upcoming medical conference still, and now I finally have the perfect thesis! Oh, I have got to get busy, busy, busy! So, that stuff from last night, was that really more than just my imagination? Anyway, everyone's still really worried about you, you know? We have to get back to the office right away, then we can talk.
Agreed.
Chihaya! Will you slow down already, please?
Skid. Run, 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 run. My apologies, producer, but I just don't know what to do with myself right now. My body, my heart, everything feels so much lighter than it has in quite some time.
Well, I'll give you that one. I thought I was happy, but I can't even imagine how you must feel. Even the doctor said it was a complete mystery. I still have no idea how I'm supposed to report all this to the president, by the way. But I guess we can afford to worry about that later for now.
Actually, regarding that mystery, that is to say, the reason for my recovery, are you certain you don't have any inkling, producer? What the cause might have been?
What? What? Why would I,
Well, last night, I mean, it may have been at some point after I lost consciousness, but I can almost swear I remember you speaking with someone.
Ah! She heard?
I was probably dreaming, but in my dream I remember hearing a voice. It was a very, very nostalgic, innocent sounding voice. And close. I know it sounds strange, but even now I feel like I could put my hand over my heart and touch it.
Wow, that's... If that's how she feels, then does that really mean...
And then, just for a moment, I thought I heard you answer back, producer.
What did you...
That you, well, I heard you say that you, look.
I'm blushing too, aren't I? Oh my god, someone help!
I'm sorry, I can't do it. It's simply too embarrassing for me to say another word. Please accept my deepest apologies.
Wait, Chihaya, that's quite the blank to fill in, you know? Are you really gonna just leave that thought hanging? Chihaya, wait up! Look at her run. She really does look as light as if she had just sprouted wings. A new pair of wings, with which she can keep on soaring through the boundless blue sky herself. Farther, higher, freer than anyone has ever been. The broken bird is no more. She's been reborn as the miracle vocalist of 765. There's nothing holding her back from pursuing her dreams anymore. But that hardly means my work is done. In fact...
Producer? What is it? Why did you stop and just start staring into the sky all of a sudden?
Oh, no, it's just... I think I finally found it. What it is that I can truly accomplish by studying abroad, I mean. I know we've been over this, but I feel like I should ask again. I'll only be gone for 1 year, Chihaya. So, until then, would you be willing to... wait for me?
Producer!
I know exactly what it is I have to do in Hollywood now. It's something I can only do if I seize this opportunity right now. So I'm going. But I'll definitely come back home next year. And I mean, if I knew you'd be waiting for me when I got back. I'd be, well, happy.
Yes, of course I'll wait for you. So please, go and do whatever it is you need to do. If it was you who asked me to, producer, I don't care how long, I would gladly wait for you always. Until the end of time.
With that one answer from Chihaya, warm, bright, and gentle as a spring day, all was right with the world. Thank you, Chihaya. As long as I have you here, waiting to welcome me home with that smile of yours, I know I can do it. This time, I'll become the producer you always deserved. I'll become the wind beneath your true wings, so that you'll never have to fall down again. I love you.
No Toma on the beach?
No, he's not part of this story.
Aww.
I mean, just to insert all of those 961 scenes into this recording would just be too much.
Aw. I just meant this Toma on the beach scene because it's just so hilarious. Poor Nitsuko. I just want you to know, producer, in the event that 1 year turns out to not be enough, please feel free to continue staying abroad until you're satisfied. I promise you I'll be waiting. I'll never stop looking forward to the day you return to us.
I wouldn't keep you waiting that long, Chihaya. Don't you worry, 1 year is going to be enough. I'll make sure of that.
Sorry. Hey! I see it! I think that one is the producer's plane! Alright, girls, let's give him our final send-off! Producer! Thank you so much for everything you've done for us this past year! We'll keep working hard too, so you don't have to be disappointed with us when you... Farewell, producer! Chiu-kin! I believe in you, producer. The dream I had on the bench that night, I'm positive that was no dream at all.
True ending. 1 year later. Even a year later. Same old Japan, huh? Oh my god. I thought I had done everything to prepare for coming back home, but I'm still no match for good old nostalgia. Alright, there's still a couple hours before I'm supposed to meet everybody, so... there's something I have to do first. I already decided a long time ago what would be the first place I visited the instant I got back. It's been a long time. Chihaya's little brother. How you been holding up? I sure hope the past year has been easier on you than it has me. Maybe you can't tell, but I've actually been training pretty hard. So, what do you think? Am I ready to look after your sister yet? Have I become the producer she always deserved? The man she always deserved? Sorry if I don't look like it just yet. But sometimes, it's not a matter of can or can't, right? There are some things you just do. And that's what I came here to promise you today. Because maybe I'm just being presumptuous, but the way I see it, you entrusted me with a very important task on that night a year ago. And I never had a chance to come here and answer you before I had to leave. That's why I decided I would as soon as I got back. This is my promise to you, little brother. I'll never let anything happen to your sister again. I'll always stay by her side.
Producer?
What? Chihaya? Wait, what are you doing here?
Don't you think I ought to be asking that of you? You told us you weren't scheduled to be back until later today.
Right. I know I said what time I expected to be at the office, but I ended up landing a little bit ahead of schedule, so...
my striped stocking foot. You're telling me you arrived ahead of schedule and that was your first thought? Not that maybe your idols would like to see you? Oh, but Chihaya's brother sure would. If I may be frank, producer, that is quite disappointing. Am I honestly to believe that I'm losing out to my little brother over here?
What are you talking about, Chihaya? There's no contest! Obviously, that's not the issue here. I came here first because, well, this is important, and I really felt like I needed to get his permission first.
His permission? For what, pray tell?
To take you out with me, of course.
Take me out with you? What? Yeah?
Okay, here's what's going on. Just before I left Hollywood, I was scouting out this one venue, the International Opera House. And let me tell you, everything about this place is first-rate, from the acoustics to the aesthetics. Just booking a worldwide debut there is enough to spark entertainment headlines all on its own. And, well, I could think of no better place for you and I to pick up where we left off.
Wait, please wait just a moment, producer. This is too much to take in all of a sudden. Why is this the first I'm hearing of any of this?
Sorry about that. I already got the okay from the president, but I asked him to let me break the news to you myself. I know I've kept you waiting a long time. But now, the preparations I've been putting together for a year are finally in place. Would you come with me, please, Chihaya? The world is waiting to hear you sing.
Producer. Yes, of course I'll come along with you. You've already shown me the highest place in Japan. I'll gladly follow you to the highest place in the world. It's just, before that, there is one small request I'd like to make first, if I may.
Of course, Chihaya. Anything you want. Ask away.
Well then, might we share a more casual conversation for a little while?
What?
I mean, it's the first time we've seen each other in an entire year, yet it seems all we can talk about is work still. It's just a little...
Yeah, you're right, huh? Come to think of... You okay?
Yeah, my leg cramped up.
Come to think of it, I haven't even let you welcome me back home yet, have I? That is how we do things in this country. Alright, maybe it's a little late to be saying this now, but, take two. I'm home. Chihaya.
Yes! Welcome home, producer! I finally got to say it. I apologize for making you go along with such trivialities, but I've been waiting to say that for such a long time.
Don't apologize. Thanks to you, it's finally hit me. It really feels like I've finally come home.
Though, there are a great many other things that I'd love to talk about with you, if you would care to listen.
Of course. we have all the time in the world now. I just hope you're prepared to hear plenty of stories from my trip in exchange.
I'd like nothing less.
Though I suppose if we don't start heading for the office soon, the other girls are probably going to get just as mad at me as you were. Have they been doing well?
Yes, just as well as ever. Oh, also, there's been a certain development which I think you'd be interested to hear about.
Really? What's that, dear?
A family of swallows has taken up residence above the front entrance of our office building. In fact, the young ones should just about ready to leave the nest soon.
I see. So we have swallows now. Wait, swallows?
Indeed, we have swallows. With chicks. Lively, full of energy, love to sing. Remind you of anyone you know?
I can hardly believe it. This really must be what they call destiny. Well then, I suppose I had better get over there and introduce myself to them, hadn't I?
Yes, please do. I'm positive they've been looking forward to meeting you for quite some time.
And there you have it. Hana x Chihaya, Definitive Edition. And that's all for now, but this is going to be the first installment in a series.
Yep.
Next time...
There's still 12 girls to go. Well, not. I mean, if we do the extra episodes with Yori and them, we could, yeah.
That's a lot of writing.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of replaying through that game.
Yeah, it is.
Can't just skip ahead to story scenes like you can in Platinum Stars once you've got them.
Yeah, it is.
God damn it, you're gonna make me do it anyway.
Hell yeah, I am! I have been waiting for you to do Makoto's story. You are not getting out of this.
Oh.
Not to mention, I'm sure Kagami would love to be Yayoi and Izumi would love to be Miki.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get the girls over here to do their roots.
Yes, we are.
Well, next time we'll be bringing you some promotion scenes of Chihaya's, and then, depending on how fast I can write, we'll be bringing you a lot more of stories and promotions of the other girls too. As soon as I can remaster all those, oh my god. It's like
It is so demanding.
it's like I have my old channel back.
I know, right? I'm sorry.
I love
But
you.
hey, I can tell you this now, a lot of your watchers are going to be looking forward to this.
Well, we'll see you next time then. Hope to see you there.
Good night, guys. We'll see you Saturday for more Arts Nelico and Sunday for more FF9.